What's up, everyone? Gonna quickly test. Okay, looks good. Double check, double check. We already got a couple people in the chat, so hi to everyone who joined today. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope everything's all right. Just gonna quickly rearrange my tabs here a bit. Yeah, let me know if my microphone is working. We already got a couple people in the chat, so okay, there we go. Now I know that it's working. So we have Jays 808, Moin. Got Cookie, yeah. Jadek Berger, what's up, my friend? Pavel, what's up, man? Emiliano, Northern Solace, and Apey, Appy Music. Nice to have you all here. We got Jay. Hey, Kevin. Hey, Jay. What's up, man? Yeah. So I'm working on a new pack, aka it's almost finished. I'm gonna switch to my DAW view here so you see what's going on. This is a project file that I'd like to demonstrate before I dive into creating a track from scratch. I really enjoyed making this, and I think it's a great demonstration of the sounds that are in the pack. Good to see you, bro. Good to see you too, man. What's up, Pixel Comet? Hey. I think I'm just going to dive in. Before I go into the folder structure, I think what would be interesting is to show this project here. So I'm going to just play this thing through for you, and then I'll give you guys a quick walkthrough because I think there's some really interesting stuff going on. Going to blend in the vocals that I have here as well. There we go. So enjoy. Yeah, but these are all sounds from the pack. Every sound that you hear.
The sea, like consciousness, is vast and endless. Its waves rise and fall, just like our emotions and thoughts. Yet beneath the surface lies a deep, silent stillness. Never wavers, always there, always at peace.
Yeah, this is gonna be the main demo for the pack. And as you heard, there were some vocals, and I was kind of skeptical about using vocals in a pack or if I should include some, but I always wanted to put in these types of speech or phrases into a pack, and this ended up being the perfect opportunity because I called it Roya, meaning dream in Farsi, and I wanted the vocals to sound really dreamy. So I'm gonna walk you through this thing before we create a track from scratch. I'm gonna stick to my promise. But yeah. So this is kick number 18, paired with a bass line here. There's some kind of filter going on, so I'm gonna play it here. Yeah, with some subgroove layers, you know. Use a lot of audio. Some of them seem to be overlapping, but meh, it's okay. And I forgot to set up the sidechain. There we go. Yeah, really freaking tight. Like this groove already just dancey. Some some shakers. And then the textural percussion, which is the focus of this pack. I decided to call it Deep Textural Organic. Textures because most of the percussion and synth stuff is kind of nuanced and detail-y. It has like some ambience and Foleys and weird glitchy stuff. And that's great to fill out your groove a bit. Like without it, pretty standard groove. With it, there's like, man, so much life to it. And we got this bongo phrase over here, which adds call and response. Something hummable, right? And takes it, the groove to the next step. Some filler percussions in between. And my favorite way to transition from the groove into a melodic part is to add a pad. Like, gives it the emotion.
Like consciousness is vast and endless.
You got yourself a track going.
Its waves rise and fall.
Yeah.
Just like our emotions and thoughts.
A lot of fun. And for the bongos, I use this Press for Acid Advanced Live 10 sequencer by Alex Kidd. And I created a drum rack and I put in like a variety of different conga sounds and percussions. And if you play just the congas with the sequencer, it sounds like this. So it's running through the entire sequence, picking different notes from within the drum rack. So you see like A sharp, it's triggering A sharp, then G sharp, E, whatever. And that corresponds to a particular note from within this drum rack or a particular pad. You can also blend in or blend out certain notes so you get that call and response type feeling. Da-dip, dip, da-dip, dip. Does that make sense? I'm gonna duplicate this, mute the first one, and I think there's a randomize option here somewhere. Yeah, you can randomize the gate, the velocity, the notes. See, that's a great way to just come up with those call and response type percussion phrases. And if I blend that in with the rest. Okay, this one isn't so great. You can see the sequence is going back and forth, pitch sequence. You can also make it go just forward. Without it. Yeah, that was a kind of a cool idea. But yeah, and then I chucked in some effects to make it sound more full.
Yet beneath the surface lies a deep, silent stillness.
And then you have this arpeggio coming in.
Always there, always at peace.
Right here somewhere. Which is a combination of diva and some one-shots here. Use the D harmonic minor scale. Yeah, just simple arp, 3 notes. Put it through Diva's arpeggiator here, up and down, and then that's basically all I did in terms of melodic stuff for this track, and I feel like it's more than enough. A bit of mastering, ignore this is just for the high pass.
Yet beneath the surface
Create some tension. Oxford Inflator, I keep it on my master at 50% effect all the time.
Yet beneath the surface.
It just adds a bit of saturation, and then this UAD precision channel strip to make it a bit louder, fatter. Honestly, I didn't do too much besides just boost the individual frequencies here.
Yet.
I think it automatically compresses the sound here as well, which
Yet beneath the surface.
yeah, it just makes it sound louder, fatter.
Yet beneath the surface.
Really fun. I had a lot of fun making this track. But yeah. And a clap that I almost forgot. Yeah. All right. That's the demo that I'm currently working on. Do we have any comments in the chat? Looking forward to hearing the new sounds. I'm happy to hear that, man. Hi, Kevin. Alles gut? Ja, so weit, so gut. Danke. Danke, Seems. Audio Muscle, what's up, man? Oh my god, I managed to catch one of your streams live. I always seem to miss these. Love the channel, bro. Thank you, man. Love you too. Which one of you prefer Splice or LoopCloud? Good evening, Dakota Music. And Dakota Music just disappeared. Razindo? Ah, good evening from Ibiza. Ibiza? Good evening from Ibiza. What's up, man? Nice to have you here. Which one do you prefer, Splice or LoopCloud? I used LoopCloud for a while, but I canceled my subscription recently because I wasn't using it enough. I used to use LoopCloud a little more when I was using the Digitact because of the LoopCloud integration, but then Digitact 2 came out. So I didn't have any need for LoopCloud because they don't support LoopCloud anymore for some reason. But the sounds that you get on LoopCloud, I would say, are definitely more tailored towards the genre of progressive house, organic house. You get a lot more artists putting out packs on LoopCloud that are relevant for our niche genre. For example, I have a couple packs that I use a lot from LoopCloud. Where do I have them though? Loop Masters and LoopCloud are the same. Yeah. For example, Hermanes, he's one of my favorite artists, and he has a pack released on LoopCloud. So if you have the LoopCloud subscription, you can grab his stuff individually. But I just purchased the entire thing. Yeah, really high quality stuff. Splice I do like more because I feel like I get kind of unusual sounds from there. I don't use it as much anymore. But whenever I'm looking for like a duduk sound, for example, I would usually go on to Splice. I feel like the ethnic stuff is very well covered on Splice. But honestly, LoopCloud and Splice, I haven't been using them too much recently. Especially since I've been focusing so much on the sound pack, Roya. I feel like I needed to create lots of sounds myself. As always, can't wait for the new pack. I own all of them. Oh man, thanks! Thanks for investing, my friend. So, let's create a track from scratch. This is my template. I always start with some kind of a template. I try to keep it simple, not visually overstimulating. And put in the synths that I use the most. Make sure that my hardware is all set up, like the Microfreak, Sub 37, etc. Sub 37 I don't have connected now, so I'm going to delete. But Microfreak, I could, for example, just blend in at any time, and then you get sounds from the hardware synth into Ableton Live using the external instrument. For some reason, this one's called TR8S. So let's start with a kick. I'm going to use one from the pack. I have them stemmed out into one-shots and loops. But I'm going to go for this one, my favorite one from the pack. And draw on a 4x4 groove. that's kind of the cool thing about having a default template set up. You get to load in the kicks that you know work, and you already have the pattern, so it saves you some time. And if I'd like to, I could just create a couple ghost kicks, I would call them. And then go like this. You know, get some kind of a offbeat kick groove going. Makes it a bit less stale. And lower the velocity on these notes. This is something that Volencenter does a lot of organic house artists do it. And I feel like it adds some variety to the groove. And a main hat, let's go for, I already know which one to use. This one, it's my favorite one. My default mix piercer hat. Really cuts through the mix very well. And then let's go for a clap. This one nice and short. Yep, sounds okay. And that's usually how I go about my grooves. However, in this pack, I've also included a couple racks. And just to illustrate, I'm going to create a MIDI track and put it above the kick. So we got Roya, Creative Tools for Live, or Ableton Live. The groove tools include a MIDI file just for getting started, and a Chord drums creator, which already includes a couple of my favorite drums from the pack. And I'm going to solo this quickly just to show you how it sounds like. So you could just hit play and you already have yourself a groove going. And the cool thing about this is that you can just replace one-shots into these fields and yeah, swap them out, maybe draw in a different MIDI groove and see like what type of groove you like the most. And the cool thing about Ableton Live 12 is it has this sample similarity swap feature, which allows you to lock particular samples that you don't want to swap, and you can swap through the entire groove. For example, I have the hat and the kick locked. So it's a quick way of just starting out your groove without, you know, the tedious kick, hi-hat, clap onto a new layer. You have everything in one layer and then can just resample or stem them out after you've put together something nice. Or sometimes you can find great layers this way. So let's say you already have a kick, hi-hat, clap groove of your own, and you'd like to add some kind of a layer to your existing groove. You can just blend in the Chord drums creator. Let's take away the kick. I already have a kick. There, get some kind of a nice groove here. And for the percussion, for example, this one here or this one here, I think you can also utilize the Live 12 features like the recombine. Okay, this doesn't do too much. This works very well for melodies. Maybe rhythm, organic perk here. And you can draw your own rhythms this way. Less density maybe. That's weird. Maybe higher density. Lower velocity maybe. Yeah, you get the point, but you could also just place your percussion individually. I don't like the sound of this one. Yeah, conga's always nice. Sounds great. Let's add some more reverb onto this layer here. Or at least, yeah. Reverb. How are you? What's Roya? I'm doing great, man. Last couple of weeks have been a little stressful. Dealing with a lot of family stuff at the moment. But I'm glad to still be able to work on the pack on the side. It's just taking me a lot longer than usual. And Roya is the pack that I've just mentioned. It's Roya means dream in Farsi, and it's inspired by the label All Day I Dream. Most of my packs are inspired by them. I would say the Soundgarden, All Day I Dream, and Homaidas. Those three labels are the main inspiration for this pack. Textural, percussion, dreamy, ambient sounds. That's the core of this pack for Organic House. I get such great value from all of these packs, rare or sample packs, says Chris Ashley. Thanks, man. I'm normally very underwhelmed with other companies. The content doesn't live up to the demo examples. Never an issue with LT. Thank you. Thank you, man. He said it at the beginning. Roya is Farsi for dream. Exactly. Farsi, Persian. I met Lee last week during All Day I Dream closing. Man, cool. Must have been great. He's such an energetic person. Like, that's how he always shows himself on Insta. Cool dude. I plan on meeting the All Day I Dream crew one day as well. In Playa Solel. Solel. Yeah, I think that's their default play spot in Ibiza. Yeah, let's keep on adding to the groove. So we have, you see, a couple percussions, claps already going. All Day I clap. Yeah, this one has a bit of pre-shift, which is great if you want to have a clap slightly pre-shifted. Adds that, you know, that bit of like anticipation before the clap hits. But if you want a more straightforward clap, then you can just put it on the grid, as I just did, you know, and set the start position a bit later. Get more of like a, I would say, 909 type feel. I personally like combining two. Yeah, and then we have, what else we have? A ton of textural percussion. Like, I took my time with these, and for the first time ever in a pack, or for production suite at least, I named every single sound. Every single sound is gonna have a name to it, and I feel like it's freaking 1,000 times better because I can easily memorize the sounds and get back to them. I feel like giving them a character is always, yeah, a great way to go. For example, I know that, okay, these sounds, bongo, low, mid, high, are sounds 27 to 30, so I can always go back to them, easily access them that way without, which sound was that again? Number 29, 30? I feel like it's, I don't know, it gives it a bit more value, you know? Yeah, and a ton of top loops, which are a combination of the hi-hats, the shakers, the claps. Speaking of shakers, let's go for a nice little groove here. So let's add this to an audio track within the percussion group. Dial it down. Yeah, this one has more of a hi-hat emphasis. Maybe add 2 shakers. Yeah, this one's really nice. This one emphasizes that 8th note hi-hat a bit more. But this one isn't doing too much. Gives it a bit of stereo width, maybe. Perhaps we could pan this one a bit more to the left and this one to the right. Yeah, perfect. And for shakers, I usually, I have an entire loop or multiple loops running using different VSTs. Shimmer, Shake, and Strike, guys. #1 shaker plugin, really. I use that a lot. For example, just to show you, for those of you who don't know that I use this thing, shout out to Tim Green. I watched a video from him where he used Shimmer, Shake, and Strike. And ever since that video, I've been using it for my shakers. And you will have to find the right pattern. There's a ton of ways to program shakers with this thing. You could either use the one-shots. You can also see that here. Or you could use the loops. You see these darker red ones? These are the loops, the different accentuations. And these ones are the one-shots. You can also see that here, solo, patterns, and rolls. And you can easily use them as layers. Like this. It's a bit too much reverb. So go like this. Mixer, dial down the reverb and delay, go back into pattern. Hit, I don't really use the hit so much because I like to come up with my own claps. But you could just go to strike and also find maybe a clap layer like this one over here. So it adds some more tone or body to your clap. You know, adds a bit of sparkle, I would say. We could also keep it in. Could also dial down the accentuation, keep it more subtle, and scroll through your shaker presets here. Some sound rather high frequency-ish, some sound lower frequency-ish. You just have to pay attention to the tone. And it's great to learn about shakers with this plugin. It has some humanization, so you can also make your shakers go a bit off the grid, which is always great. Feel and swing. Yeah, and from there I would usually just resample this. Record, resample. And just layer a ton of different shakers, put maybe some on the left, some on the right. Sometimes even just one shaker layer is more than enough. It depends really on the style that you're going for. This All Day a Dream type vibe, they usually have very fat sounding and loud shakers. And what I love also doing for shakers is LFO tool to get some more control over the shape of the shakers. So you emphasize more of that 8th note hi-hat here. You see, it's very out of control without the LFO tool. With the LFO tool, it gives it a bit more of that ducking, sidechain ducking feel. You can also decrease the depth and dial it into your liking here. Yeah, and that's one way of creating some nice sounding shakers. And another way to gain a bit more control is to select a different loop starting position. Sometimes that little change can already change the entire way the groove feels. Could also loop a very small selection. You know, maybe go for a warp mode. Nice and snappy, pitch it up. Okay, that's kind of weird. You see, there's so much possibilities that you get with shakers. They're easily underestimated, though. I feel like shakers are really important for this genre to get like some nice and snappy shakers. You don't need to overcomplicate it. Just give them a bit more love, you know? So we got 3 layers. Cool. And then we can add some more textural percussion stuff. Hey, Connie, what's up, man? Yeah. Add some textures here. LotusTunes, textural percussion loops. So this one would be great. It's kind of like a call and response type thing. Yeah, and you hear how it's kind of glitchy? Like some of them sound a bit off-grid and glitchy. I included the rack for that here, Groove Tools. It's called Grainfier. And this thing is kind of like a glitch generator. So what it does, it is... Let's hit resampling. I'm going to create a new audio track, hit resampling, solo this layer, and just let it run through here. Okay, just mess around with the parameters. Yeah, there's some LFO action going on in this thing. And then you get some pretty cool results here. For example, this is the stuff that I've just resampled. Now, it's not really entirely on the grid, so what I would do is just quantize it. Maybe put it into beats. You could get some really interesting hits this way. For example, just this part. Okay, it's kind of laggy, so let's remove the rack. Oh, I did remove it, okay. Yeah, stuff like this. Can add some delay to it. This can really fill out your groove. It's really, really fun. Yeah, I like these types of sounds because they sound unusual and they give you some... They give you an opportunity to just rely on your ear, I would say. You just generate some stuff and then you cut out the best parts using your ear and what you like. Yeah, for example, this kind of sounds cool, so I would cut it out. Even that is nice. Yep. Kind of minimal, glitchy, but still, it's fun to make sounds like these. Maybe process it a bit. Chuck it into the background. Pitch them up or pitch them down. And then you can add some more textural stuff. Like the percussion you hear now is more call and response type-ish. But this one is, as the name already says, a bit more meticulous, a bit more textural. More of like that stuff that you put in the background of your track. Yeah. I feel like I could make the congas a bit louder though. These guys here. See if we can use another conga. Percussion Organic. Yeah, this one's more cool. Maybe. This one's kind of quiet. What perk is being triggered here? Organic perk, okay. Solid groove, man. Yeah, at this point, maybe I could add some like little fiddly hi-hat stuff. There's vinyl noise, also a very nice vintage sounding hi-hat. Some just like in-between type of stuff, you know? Maybe this is enough actually, yeah. Awesome. Now, I usually like to start with some kind of a pad or melody before I move on to the bass, because it gives me some tonal information. What's up, bought some of your packs? Love them. Thank you, Francisco, excuse me. Greetings from Mannheim. Sounding already quite nice, Kevin. Thank you, man. Grüße. Du und Musik. Nice. Rui Oliveira says, would love to see all of your send effects. Oh yeah, the send effects, I can show you them, of course. The first 3 ones I don't use. The first 4 ones I rarely use, and I'm thinking of deleting them. But F through I, sends F, G, H, I use quite a lot. For example, this percussion over here. I'm putting it through send A, B, C, D, E, F. F is feedback delay with Echo Boy Jr. I use this a lot. Mainly for pads, but you could also put it on your percussion. Maybe onto ping pong. This could be... Barely hear that stuff. Maybe reverse it? Yeah, much better. And H is, or no, G is Supermassive, Valhalla Supermassive, which is free? I think it's free, yeah. Great reverb for dystopian, eerie sounding long reverbs. And then we got Black Hole, a very clean sounding long reverb. And then you got Guitar Rig for some sound designy stuff. So if I would want to put my percussion, for example, here into the last send, which is Guitar Rig, I could manipulate the effects further using, I don't know, let's start with psych delay. And you can kind of add your own effects. So it's just the last send is kind of like a creative playground for me. Special effects, grain delay, sure. And it adds a bit of taste. Might be a bit long though. You see how it adds like that feedback tail to this otherwise very boring sounding percussion? Yeah. Just a bit of, place to have some fun. Generally, Guitar Rig is kind of a cool plugin. I like it a lot. Not only for guitars, but also the reverbs in here are fantastic. Iceverb is also a really cool effect on the tractor, the Native Instruments tractor controller. I use it a lot for build-ups. Very nice sounding. Look how cool. Like those little tiny details, man, they really make up so much. Yeah, so I have percussion one-shots. I decided to go for organic and synthetic because that's like previously I used to sort by low percussion, mid percussion, and high percussion. I feel like this gives it a bit more variety. Synthetic sounds and organic sounds. The only thing that's missing is textural one-shots, transitions, and a few drum fills. Yeah, I'm still going for some drums here. And then we got some strange textures, man. I love these freaking textures. They're so fun. Like these really tested my sound design capabilities. For some I used Bioscape. For some now for this one I didn't go outdoors, to be honest. But for Organic House Essentials I did go outdoors. For some I used some weird effects like Arturia EFX fragments. For this one, for example. Get some crispy leaves here. Yeah, like this, all this textural stuff, The stuff that you usually wouldn't put too much effort into, I feel like is what really makes your track sound professional. Not only that, of course, but I feel like it just adds so much more detail and life to your tracks. And I always wanted to make a pack that focuses just on those things. And I'm very happy with how it turned out. And like one way to go into the melodic part is to be honest, it's also one of my favorite ways to start with melodies, because it's the simplest way, is to select a one-shot ambient swell. Like this. Put it through some kind of a long feedback delay. I could put it into E or F, my sends here, or if I want to make it more intense, I would go for color copy. Don't I have it? Yeah, I have it here. Color copy is a delay by UHE, the same people who made Diva. It's a fantastic plugin for long and eerie dub delays. So there is, however, some floor noise here. That's all coming from feedback. And like that's usually all I really need to get me started for some kind of melody idea or to add more sounds on top. Maybe a bit too much feedback though. And this one has way too much low mid mud, so we'll cut it out. Yeah, that's one way of going about the pads. Another way is to, let's see. Yeah, by the way, I included a ton of these one-shots here. And some ambient pads, some longer phrases that sound like this. This one I like a lot. These are more consistent, less rhythmic sounds. Ambient pads are just like they fill out the entire floor, you know? DC10 vibe right now. What is that DC10 vibe? Do you prefer to use Sends to add a plugin to the track? Yeah, it's like from a technical standpoint, it's smarter to put your stuff on Sends rather than have them on your track directly. Because you, first of all, you get to mix in the amount here rather than causing some kind of overlap with the dry wet here. No, here, the mix. And it's a CPU saver. You can have one send effect and put as many tracks you'd like into that send effect without using that individual track or that individual send effect on each and every single track. You know, it's a time saver and a CPU saver. And it's definitely the way to go. Like there's send effects and there's insert effects. Insert effects are compression, saturation, the type of stuff that usually colors your sound and is put onto a track directly. Some people, like there's a New York compression, which utilizes a compressor on a send, but that's more nerdy audio engineer type stuff. So send effects are reverb delay. Those stuff you usually want to put onto sends. Keep your mixes clean and save some CPU. And also one of the reasons why you put your send effects on sends, like reverb and delay, is because you get to process them. As you can see here, I have a low cut enabled on each and every single one of my sends. Well, not this one here. This one already has one. This one too. This allows you to mix in the cleanest possible reverb with your dry signal. Because if you put your reverb on your track directly, for example, like this, I'll put it on my ambient pad. And I want to clean it out, so I'll add a low cut here. Oh, where did I put it? Jeez. Opa. Excuse me. I put it onto this track here. And let's say, okay, it has too much mud. I'll just cut it out using EQ. And I end up cutting out the mud, but it thins out the signal, the dry signal. And usually you don't want to mess with the dry signal. You know, if you have it already put on a send, you can just send it in there and know that you're only getting some clean ass reverb. Does that make sense? Sometimes when I do sound design, I rarely give a darn where I put my effects. Like sometimes I just put it onto the track directly and I'm like, okay, screw it, just leave it here. But usually I have it all set up in my default template because it saves me time and gives me a cleaner mix without straining my CPU. Yeah. I have some of my template that I saw you use, like Black Hole Supermassive Shimmer. Thanks, bro. Finally got to see you live and not after that. And not after that. Love your packs. Thank you, man. Thank you, Rui. What's up, Michael? Michael Otten? Michael Otten? Greetings from Heilbronn. Heilbronn, Germany. Okay, so it's Michael Otten, yeah? Okay. Of course. Michi. And a VST that I recently purchased, which took me a long time to make the decision to purchase, is Stylus by Spectrasonics, the same people who made Omnisphere. Very expensive plugin. I was really hesitant to buy it. I was like, just a bunch of loops. But it isn't, man. It's so freaking good sounding, Stylus. Now I feel like my groove is at a point where I don't need any more percussion. It's already enough. But I can show you some of the Stylus stuff here. Oh, not the sound check preset, please. Let's go. More acoustic type stuff. Urban. So nice. And you can layer these sounds here. Or go through the presets. I feel like this does add a vibe to it. Let me just change my CPU settings really quick because it's starting to lag a bit. Go to 512 samples. Yeah, let's resample this into a new layer. Yeah, then we can delete Stylus. Stick with this. And sometimes if I don't want to keep the original, I get creative. I use creative effects like Shaperbox. Shaperbox, one of my favorite effects, to be honest. But I don't feel like I need any Shaperbox here. Groove sounds quite nice. Maybe add some lexicon reverb. Yeah, the percussion plate is really good. auto pan this perhaps. Yeah, man, really happy with this groove. Could we add another clap, maybe? I feel like it's good. Don't need to add more. Yeah, and then, for example, this one is G minor. Another thing I added into the pack is the so-called Atmos tool, Ambient Swell Creator, which is so freaking cool. So by pressing one note, you already get a chord. Let me blend out the micro freak here, excuse me. Turn off the lo-fi. So let's say we have no melody whatsoever, just the drums. I'm just playing one note. And let's say we want to go for a minor 9 chord. Absolute vibe, dude. If you take away the harmony, or add a harmony. Woohoo! You can also automate this. Woo! So I'm just pressing one note. Also, you could go for major chords here. You could switch between major and minor. So right now, this is a major F major chord, F major 9, and I could switch it to minor chord now. Now we're playing an F minor 9. Then added harmony or harmonic. And if I feel like I got a nice chord, I let go, enable the reverb freeze, and I get an ambient pad. I could also make it go lo-fi, add some like flanger type movement to it. Yeah. Lovely. And these types of sounds, they go very well, like as background pads. And if I would open up the rack, you can see that it's utilizing wavetable. Just 2 oscillators. Honestly, I just went for some random wavetables here that sounded good to me. Applied some filter, ADSR curve that's suited for pad sounds, long pad sounds. So you're getting a lot of movement, or you could disable the movement. Yeah. Open up the filter here. Yeah, usually what you would do to create an ambient swell is just open up the filter and close it back down. But if you want, you could just go for the reverb freeze. There we go. Now it's frozen. Frozen in time. Get yourself a Core i9 computer. I have the Apple Silicon thingy. It's actually kind of nice. But I'm streaming in 4K. Going a bit hard on the CPU, and I'm using a lot of plugins, man. You need to consider that. As I do use Cubase Pro 13, I made a lot of preset channels for reverbs, delays, etc., and just call them when I need. Yeah. Still want to sign some music to hand music to my label for next year. Yeah, definitely hit me up. So good, man. Thank you, my friend. Do you use Keyscape too? No, I used the cracked version of Keyscape back in the day, but I ended up getting rid of all my cracked stuff, so not at the moment. Stylus Rock's been using it for years. Yeah, it's a vibe, dude. Impressive stuff, mate. Hello from... What is BER? Hello from Ber. BER. Amazing layer cake. Can you explain how not to be stuck in an 8-bar loop, asks Yasin. Yeah, arrangement. For sure, man. Nirmal says, yo, wasabi Kevin. How are you? How's your mom doing? Hope all is good. First of all, it's nice to have you here, Nirmal. My mom's doing a lot better. But man, her health insurance company randomly decided to not cover her health insurance anymore. And that caused me like a month of stress, to be honest. Which is one of the reasons why I wasn't too active onto YouTube, because I put all my effort into that. Nonetheless, it's fixed. I got it solved, but it required me to, go through all the German bureaucracy. How do you pronounce it? I had to go through all these different employees and all these different Amt. What's the word for Amt in English? Government departments to get her health insurance back. And especially with her health situation, it's kind of a lucky thing to experience that. But it's all good now. God bless. And now I'm making some more time for music. Hey, Artless Being, nice to have you too. Wusulu. Yeah, we got all the hardcore fans in the chat today. Sorry to hear that, bro. Yeah, it's all good, man. It's all good. Keep it positive, you know? Definitely caused a lot of frustration, but I learned a lot in the process as well. I learned how Germany works. A bit later, hope you're well, yeah. Yeah. And once I get an ambient pad, like this, by the way, I could listen to these types of sounds for hours. They're so relaxing. I resample it into a new layer. Even I have been busy with work. What have you been doing, man? What's your work, if I may ask? It's just so lovely, man. I love these sounds. They're a big part of who I am as an artist. Ambient. Swells and pads. And once you have this, like, you have the core. A lot of people start with chords. I start with pads. For me, pads are the chords. And then sometimes if I would feel like I can add chords on top of the pad, because it's just such a... Like, look at how it captures the emotion. Like, all of the energy, the beauty is coming from this one sound. It makes the groove feel like it has its place, you know? Okay, look, so this is F minor, right? Was it F minor? I remember it being F minor. Let's search up F minor. I think that was an F minor. I'm gonna have to correct this sound. I don't think it's F minor. Correct the key. Maybe we can go for another sound then. I'll just add this. heard this? Nah. Oh yeah. And these textural synth loops, they go very well with pads. They are a bit more rhythmic, and they have some ambient swells inside. Again, included a ton of these. Lovely. Corporate job, software engineer. Gotcha, man. Great to see you live streaming. Thanks, Yao Ochben. Your video about staying inspired as a full-time creative has been really helpful to me. Thank you, my friend. I'm blessed to be able to do this, man, honestly. The fact that I'm able to share stuff like this and have people resonate with me, that's just a blessing, an absolute blessing. Is there anything similar to create those nice swells in Logic? Waiting for those new sample pack. In Logic, yeah, man. I would say any synth. You don't even need a wavetable synthesizer. All you need, like, there's a really great video out there. Let me guys show you it on how to create ambient pads. Oh, guys, you need to watch this. Was it this video? Yeah. For those of you who want to know how to make ambient pads, watch this video right here. Fantastic explanation of how to make ambient pads. He even made this list here of everything that you need to create an ambient swell. Where's the chat? Here. Long amplitude, envelope, attack, and release gives us a smooth sound. Okay. If we look here, long attack, long release. Oscillators with rich harmonics give us full sound. Wavetable synthesizers give you a lot of harmonics. Filter allows us to control the intensity of the sound. Okay, we have a filter here, right? Wavetable, filter. Let's see if I open up this guy. Filter moves. We can give a sound movement with filter cutoff frequency modulation. Remember what we did previously? We automated that filter so it opens up. You could also make it move in very weird ways, right? You can move, for example, you could open up oscillator 1 while closing down oscillator 2. That creates some interesting movement as well. Using multiple panned voices to give us a wider sound and more movement. So again, you could use multiple voices, different layers, and pan these layers differently. And he names a couple of synthesizers like vintage synths, Roland D50, Korg M1, which are just fantastic synths to get ambient pads. Korg M1 I think is a really great one. Yeah. So Tim Kant, and another channel that I highly recommend is Thought Forms. He frequently creates ambient pads from scratch, and I believe he has a couple sample packs as well. So check out his stuff too. Great places to learn about ambient pads. Thought Forms and Tim Kant. Yeah, and Omnisphere. If you don't have, like, if you have Omnisphere with endless access to millions of pads, I feel like. Beautiful, sounds good, man. Thank you so much. Nice, I'll check it out. Cool. When going down in pitch, -4, -8 always works, and when going up in pitch, 3, 5, 7 always works. Yes, absolutely. 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, like, That's usually what I go for when I create melodies or create pads, like 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. Yeah. In halftone steps. All right. I'm doing a lot of talking, which is why it's taken so long. Hip hop sub bass is a default Ableton Live preset, guys. It's Operator, I think, which is absolutely the best sub bass that you could ever imagine. So there we go. We have ourselves a sub bass. Randomly just played something on my keyboard. Now we put it here. Quantize it. And then we can go dub. Give it a more release time, maybe some overtones. Where can I download that Ableton template? Thanks. This particular template is slightly modified to suit my needs. However, you can find the original version of this template on Dulu's Patreon. I know I've made a couple ads for him. I've already seen a couple people from my channel move on to his Patreon. Thanks for the subscribe, my friend. You can go to Patreon and type in DULUS. It's a Latin producer. He's very high energy. Is he Latin? Excuse me if I'm getting that wrong. I think he's from like Colombia, I think. And he's also a really great organic house producer. I have the original version of his template and I modified it. He has a couple nice racks. Add. So there's this cool roar preset called Drum Kit Enhancer, which sometimes works. I put it onto my tops group, bring out some of the hi-hats. Sometimes I put it on the drums without the kick, sometimes it works with the kick. Yeah, obviously not here. Brings out the highs a bit. Yeah, the pads are covering a lot of the low end. Like this could be more of an intro, and the pads we can introduce later on in the track. And I included some chord progressions as well, with the MIDI. So you can grab a chord progression and chuck it in here. Now I don't have one that's in key, but I could put this one here and just chop it up a bit. That's what I love doing with chords. Yeah. And then I put it into my sends here. Remember that 1, 3, 5, 7 thing that I just said? Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 halftone steps up here. 6, 7. It always fits harmonically. Dreamy. Dominican Republic. Ah, okay. Do you use SonarWorks Sound ID? I've heard a lot of people using it, man, but I haven't used it myself. I'm so used to how my speakers sound in my studio environment. But I get a lot of people saying, like, I couldn't produce music without these things, man. Even Sebastian Leger, I think, uses it. But I haven't used it, so maybe you guys know a little more than I do. Beautiful soundscapes, man. Thank you. Testing you says, hi everyone, where can I download? Oh, I already read that. Also, what headphones and monitors do you have? How well treated is your room? Oh man, if I would have my cell phone connected, I would show you my room here. I think I did it in the past, but my room isn't... Well, it is actually kind of well treated, but in a very organic way. Like, you can see these chalazines, like, bought it from the supermarket. So nothing special, but I just cut it here so they don't go to the very bottom. They absorb a lot. Like these guys in the back, they absorb a lot of the high frequencies that come from the speakers, and they're placed right behind me, which is also pretty decent placement. Then I have a Persian carpet, best acoustic treatment ever. And right behind my speakers and to the right I have the things that you always see on my videos, like these hexagon shaped acoustic panels that are made of Basotect. Yeah, it's a acoustic material which has a high absorption rate. Speakers, I use the Yamaha HS8, which might be a little overkill for my room, but I remember purchasing them back in the day, knowing that I wanted to have some fat sounding speakers, and been using them for so many years now. Very happy with them. Headphones, I'm using Beyerdynamics DT770 Pro, the 250 ohm variant. Been using them for years, also very happy. Before that, I used to use the Audio-Technica M50X, which were more portable, but they ended up breaking. Very happy with Beyerdynamics. I'm always going to stick with these. Or Odyssey. Planning on purchasing Odyssey in the future. Odyssey headphones, but they're really pricey though. I can produce using $10 speakers and $300. I think speakers and headphones are subjective, whichever suits. Yeah, absolutely. My opinion. Maybe different for others. But I would love to have a studio environment and Genelex. That would be epic. Yeah, Genelex. A friend of mine, Connie, if he's still in the chat, I don't know. He purchased some Genelex. And I think he's made some good experience with them. But you have to have them in a pretty nicely treated room. It's like having a camera, like a really expensive camera, but having crappy lighting. Same with speakers and room treatment. If you have fantastic speakers, but you don't have proper acoustic treatment, it's like having a very expensive camera, but very poor lighting. Like it has to be a balance. And you can get that acoustic treatment with very little amounts of absorbers, just like 1 or 2 absorbers placed smartly in your room. A decent carpet, you know, my bed over here that you see in the background with all the stuff here. It's like a bass trap. It's like acoustic. All these things, you know, bedroom producer for freaking years. And I'm more than happy. You know? I'm more than happy with this room, man. You can't believe how much I've been able to God bless this room, honestly. Everything has happened in this tiny little 6 Quadratmeter. Quadratmeter? How do you say it in English? Cubic meters? Square meters. Yeah, square meter room. 6 square meters. Tiny. I actually sacrificed my bigger room. Connie, yeah. There we have Connie. Connie is the guy who bought the Genelec speakers. Having a treated room is the most important part, yeah. I sacrificed my larger room, gave it to my sis, and switched. Like, she used to be back here in my room. But now she's in the larger room because I feel like I could get more of a better acoustic treatment here. Yeah. Smaller rooms are great for acoustic treatment. A lot of talk today. Thank you guys for being so engaging in the chat, for asking questions. Lotus Studio Enterprise Tour. Yeah, I definitely have to make a tour. Dakota. Shout out Lotus Room. Yeah, Lotus Room. This is the Lotus Room. Guys, can I show you something really quick? Like, that's doesn't necessarily have to do with this project file. Just show you a couple things that I have going, that I've expanded into in the past few weeks. And also adding a sub can work magic, especially for electronic music. Yeah, definitely. But for sub, you have to have a studio, man. If you're still living with your mother or family members, then dude, a sub is have fun. Or neighbors, bro. I want to have a sub, definitely, but you need a studio for that type of stuff. Like, sub is next level, man. Yeah. Funnily enough, if a kick sounds weird on my tiny laptop speaker, I know that I have to switch it out. For some reason, you know, so it's always good to have also references for when it comes to creating your tracks, different speaker systems and all. And also adding why I think it's good to have a pair of closed back headphones as well as an open back if you're going without speakers. Yeah. Let me just show you guys what I wanted to show you. So first of all, you know what, let's play this in the background. The artwork for the pack. I didn't show you guys that. Oi! So the artwork, I'm very happy with it because it resembles exactly what I wanted to go for with this pack. You have the frame, which is the solid foundation, which is the groove. But even the groove has some detail in it. You know? In the middle, you get the organic textures, the organic feel. Also very highly detailed, very chaotic, very textural. And in the middle, you get the blue sky, which is the ambient pads and the dreamy elements. So this is exactly how I wanted the artwork to turn out, and I'm very happy that it looks like this. So Roya meaning dream. And the name of the pack is Deep Textural Organic, which I would say fits quite well. And whatever makes this pack different compared to the packs that I previously put out is, I would say, the chords. Chords are definitely more organic sounding, have the MIDI for them as well. Textural percussion loops. I named every single sound, even the one-shots. And oh, the vocals. Yeah, I wanted to show you this too. The creative tools, you know, the ambient Swell creator. We also have the padifier, which I might show a bit later. Groove tools, an extra template to start your tracks, all included in the pack here. So I have these quotes here.
Dreams are the...
Oh, yeah, these are so nice. Let me put them into the recording track here.
Dreams are the quiet architects of the soul, building bridges to the unseen, where the impossible becomes a memory waiting to be lived.
Oh, we got more softer female voices like this.
In the delicate embrace of dreams, stardust cascades through velvet skies, where times...
You know, you could take a vocal and chop it out. The individual phrases, just chop them out with Command E and space them out like this. And stretch them with Shift.
In the delicate embrace.
And put them into another warp mode like texture.
In the delicate embrace of dreams.
Or beats.
In the delicate embrace of dreams. Stardust cascades through velvet skies.
Or put it through some reverb and delay.
Stardust cascades through velvet skies.
Maybe take away the high frequencies so it's more of a background thing. Oh, that's too much.
In the delicate embrace of dreams. Stardust cascades through velvet skies. Time surrenders and the soul glides waiting.
BN3R1 says, Sahant, sending much love. Brother, I don't know where to start as a... 1 second, let me read this comment. I don't know where to start as a starting organic house producer. What would you recommend to get in and learn? Creation is flawless. Thank you, my friend. Yeah, I'll give you some tips. Looking forward to this one, Roya. Thank you, my friend. Did you do the artwork yourself? I create some myself, but for this one I used the AI. And for the vocals I also used AI. I'm going to be very open and transparent about that. I usually go through different iterations of artworks. And also use my own artworks as well as own vocals for these packs. For example, all these sounds that you hear here.
I think I get it, Mum.
Oh no, not these. 1 sec. Here. They were originally my voice. So that was really fun. You could put this in here as well. Maybe do it like this. Maybe on warp. We'll go for something like this. Or like this. Oops. Yeah. But if you guys know anybody who's good at artworks, let me know. Yeah, for me it's kind of tough to find an artist that really puts my vision into reality. I used to get a couple of people on Fiverr, but never really ended up working out well, so I decided to create them myself. Amulanga Records. Nice to have you guys here. They were originally your voice? Yeah, no way. You gotta make a video about... Yeah, I will. AI vocal training is really good now, man. Gone are the days snipping movie quotes. Yeah, movie quotes are still a vibe, because I feel like there's more of an emotion to them. So, you had a question before, BN3R1. You said, as a beginner organic house producer, you would like to know where to start, where to learn. I would say just watch tutorials. Watch my channel. Advertisement here. I feel like a lot of the tracks that I get sent, people every now and then ask me for feedback. I feel like there's not a lot of love in the drums. You can tell that the drums are need a lot more time spent, because if you have a solid drum groove, all you really need is like one pad and it'll sound good. So much depends on the drums. I would say as a beginner organic house producer, where would I start there, man? Maybe grab yourself a couple sounds that you like, a couple sample packs, and no, that's not a good tip. Wait. I would say, first of all, listen to a lot of music. Listen and practice every day. Those two things. And then once you get a feel for the sounds and you get better, you watch more tutorials. Maybe you grab yourself a sample pack or two. Better over time, but nothing really will bypass the practice. And again, shakers are really important. Call and response percussion is really important. Having a kick that cuts through the mix well enough is really important. This one I love. This is kind of like my new reference kick. Kick number 10 from the pack. Because for organic house, it's really important to have a kick that has transient layers inside, so it pierces well through the mix. Now for dub techno, it's more of like those 808 soft kicks, but for this type of style, the all day dreamy type vibe, it's very piercy. Yeah. Now once you get yourself a groove, it sounds full like this. You could add any type of melody or synth. Maybe just a simple one shot. Yeah, it sounds good. But spend more time on drums. Like if you're into organic house, my friend, I would say master the drums. Really important. Or spend time practicing your drum grooves. Right, go back and watch the past few years of his videos. So much useful info. Thank you, my friend. How did you start, brother? Getting a lot of very friendly, nice questions today. Thank you so much, guys, for all your curiosity and allowing me to answer. It took 5-year break. I took a 5-year break from music, came back into the organic scene a year or so, and got my flow back with your tutorials. So 100% recommend it for a new guy to lock into your vids. Thank you, my friend. Do a bit every day. Watch tutorials, maybe some good masterclasses in general. Build a digital surrounding of music content. It doesn't have to be organic house stuff. I cannot emphasize enough how important it is to, if you want to become professional at something, do it frequently. Preferably every day. Man, this is coming from a person who loves comfort and who originally hated self-discipline. But if you want to anything really, if you want to get good at anything, just do it often enough with some kind of regularity. If you want to, I guess, have a healthy body, you would find a way to do something for your body regularly enough. Even on the days where you're like, I don't really feel like it, but you have your, you've made your commitment, And if you feel like, you're going too hard on yourself, dial it down a bit, but keep that frequency. I'm not saying you shouldn't take any breaks in between, but for me, like, despite going through like a lot of stress in life, I always managed to find that space for music. But in my case, that's actually required me to take a step back from YouTube. Like a month, I didn't post anything onto YouTube just to spend some time, some more intimate time with music, And I needed that. But yeah. How did I start? I fell in love with organic house music. The first track that has ever gotten me into organic house music was in a mix by Christian Löffler. I remember it. called Window to the Soul. Window Liquor by Beige. This one here. And I was so inspired by it that I created a track that's called For the Soul. Which has kind of a similar vibe. And you can see this was 2022. First ever organic house track that I've ever released. Like before that, my style used to be very mixed. Very... yeah, I don't know. Different style, I guess. But ever since For the Soul, I feel like I've gone more into an organic house direction. Especially with the most latest releases, Sunlit Skies and Bailar. It's me. I need to put out more music, man. The dirty and very unpopular secret: produce as much finished music as quickly as you can as a beginner. Quantity over quality, over and over again. Yes, I 100% agree, my friend. Greetings from Germany with love and respect. Hi, guys. Produce as much finished music as quickly as you can as a beginner. Quantity over quality, over and over again. Yeah. Every now and then I feel like I need a break from that and spend some time on quality, you know, learn a bit more, purchase some VSTs maybe, see how I can challenge myself creatively. But definitely I would say also quantity over quality, especially if in the beginning. Okay. Yeah, guys, I wanted to quickly show you something. I'll get back to the track. I wanted to arrange it a bit. But just a quick little excursus here on things that I've been working on. I remember that video where I explained that I wanted to dive more into music. So I put myself together a setup that allows me to DJ.
Also Bollerwagen-Set habe ich auch, von daher könnte man auch nur mit dem was starten, Alter.
So my plan is to go more outdoors
Zieh ich jetzt wieder dran und dann ab nach
with
Hause.
this thing. I put myself together like this mobile DJ setup that I'd like to use more often for outdoor gigs and recording sets outdoors. I haven't been able to do it so far, besides that one time, but it was more of like a test run. Unfortunately, it's gotten quite cold now, so yeah, and then I have this one here. Dude. I was feeling very happy on that day. Yeah. That was the day where I finally got my mom's health insurance covered again. I had to go party outside. So you see the two speakers on the stands, as well as the power station, mobile power station, laptop DJ controller. And in this case, it's actually not connected because I'm running it over Bluetooth just to test it. But yeah, that was really fun. That was really, really fun. And, it's a very solid setup, like for transport and stuff like that. Yeah, it fits all into that little thing that you saw in the beginning. Where was it again? Here. All of that fits inside here, and I'm really happy that I expanded into that. You know, have some fun in life a bit. Bose S1 Pro Plus, the speakers. Man, fantastic. Fantastic speakers. What's up, Carlos? Where did the energy come from? From the video? I was just happy. I don't know. What's your Apple configuration? It's a Mac Mini. 32 gigabytes of RAM. M2. Yeah. Very powerful machine. Wouldn't ever go back to Windows, man. In love with this thing. Very cool. Blank poster music. Lol. Those babies are sounding tight. Yeah. It's both speakers. Really cool sounding things. Wheelbarrow session. What is that wheelbarrow session? What does that mean? Okay. Guys, I'm gonna arrange this thing here because I've been in this 8-bar loop for long enough. So what I usually do is I highlight this entire section. Just highlight everything and hit Command J, which will consolidate it into one entire 16-bar clip. Delete any tracks that you're not using. Keep it as clean as possible. We aren't using this. Name your tracks accordingly. Vocal. What is this here? Feel the sky. Just these two elements together, you know? If you have these two elements together, sitting on a tight drum groove, it's all you need. Really. It's funny how the chord drums groove sounds really, just, I don't know, like so flat. And a lot of the feedback that I get, people send me tracks with just the chord drums. Like the whole texture and percussion is missing. So, look. Simple chord drums groove, just like a oots, ats, like a 8th note hi-hat and a clap. That's it. Just a few layers to make it sound a bit fatter, but let's say it's just very simple sounding. But with the shakers, it already takes on a completely new form. So having a solid shaker groove, very important. Like it doesn't sound like that standard groove. You add some textural stuff in between. Perhaps some call and response type percussion as well. Congas, always very nice. Conga and bongo. And then some background, dust and textures. Some bass, hip hop sub bass. Yeah. Back to the point here, so I'm gonna delete all the tracks that I don't need. Conga. Actually, really like this conga groove here. Off hat. Main hat. More perk. Again, just delete everything that you don't need. Keep the essential stuff here. Don't need. Well, I could use a reference track. Sometimes when I stay in this view, and this is something that I do less and less, but especially as a beginner, you can produce to a reference track. Now, I think I have my Beatport tracks on my laptop. No, I actually have them here. Nice. So I would choose a track like take this for example, put it onto the reference here, make sure that it's not warped. And then you can just kind of take this as a reference point, see, okay, this is the intro, the break happens at around 3 minutes something. And you can also listen to the track, see, okay, there's a little pause here indicating the kick has been taken away, creating like a mini break. So reference tracks can also be quite helpful. I mainly use reference tracks for arrangement. Back in the day, I used them a lot for, you know, trying to recreate every sound, but I do that less and less now. Congo bongo. Do you still use the Digitakt? Thinking about getting one since it's got cheaper now. I use it, yeah, but rarely in my productions, to be honest. I'm still waiting for the overbridge for Digitakt 2 to come out. And I use the Syntakt for bass grooves. It's nice that you remind me, man. I feel like I need to use my drum machines a lot more. But usually I create sounds on the drum machines when I'm, you know, before going to bed or when I'm in a relaxed state. Or generally just, instead of making music in Ableton Live, just make music on there, you know? And then I save the project and import it into Ableton Live. That's my favorite way to work with these devices, rather than trying to use them while producing. It's very strenuous. It's a hassle, I would say. Use them separately and then import the sounds. That Feel the Sky vocal is, yeah, that's my vocal, man. Let me see if I can find the original, actually.
Fell from.
Okay, no, I seem to only have the processed vocals in here. They're in a different project, but before I open it, I think I'm going to finish this one before I get too distracted. Yeah, and then once you have all your tracks, let's delete the reference for now. You hit Command-Shift-I, and that transfers that to Session View. For some reason, it puts all the sounds into the second row. I put them into the first one here. And then you just make sure everything is looped. So you highlight everything, make sure it's looped. And that's why it's really important to consolidate the clips to make sure they're all 8 or 16 bars long. Like every clip needs to have the same length. Because sometimes when you loop the sounds and the loop isn't set to the right length, it can mess with the timing. So if I hit play, I get my track here. Now this is a very scrolly process. And since I'm using so many layers, I keep having to scroll left and right. Track options we don't need to see. Sends we don't need at the moment. Input output we don't need. Don't even really need volume, but I'm gonna keep volume. So, we've already put together all the elements that make a track sound full. We have the synths, we have the bass, we have the percussion, the chord, groove. There's nothing that should hold us from being able to arrange this track fully. You know, maybe we can add a few sounds later on, make the track sound really, I don't know, I guess more melodically pleasing. But I wouldn't want to like change the vibe of this track. You know, everything that I add from now on, I'm gonna treat very skeptically, I would say. So let's start with the intro. I'm gonna call this intro, and I'm gonna duplicate this onto layer 2 and subtract. So let's just, I think I'm gonna fly through this process because if I explain every step, it's gonna take a bit too long. So bass we don't need, and perhaps blend out a couple like textural percussion or stuff that just gives it too much detail. Duplicate it again. Sometimes I would take away the main hi-hat from the intro. Yeah. So we have a hi-hat that we can add. Adding the hi-hat always adds energy. I like to keep shakers in the intro. We could add this. Mini clap, so we can add the second layer of the clap and the drop to add more energy or something. And it's like arrangement, it's really important to feel your track and to not rush through the process. Like right now I'm kind of rushing through the process, but later on I would just go through these individual like intro, hi-hat. How does it feel when I add just the hi-hat? Does it feel too empty? Okay, it sounds good if I adjust the clap. Does it feel too long? You know? Because sometimes it can feel really long, the intro. It's okay to spread it out, but I would say don't forget to add some detail, maybe some melodic fills in between. Arrangement is always the boring part, but nonetheless, it's very important. You know? Everybody wants to see just the creative stuff, there's the Max for Live devices and the programming, but the arrangement, people usually tend to skip that. It's very, very important, man. It's what literally finishes the track. Sound design and arrangement, those two things, man. Here, I feel like I need some kind of a pad already. This is, oh my god, I love it. I could play this loop for 8 hours and I'd still enjoy it. Thank you, Chord. Gonna try my best to read through the comments here. Okay, we got Wusulu saying, yeah, I thought I missed a couple comments here. Excuse me, guys. I think AI is perfect. What you have looks good. Thank you, my friend. Like, there's a balance between using AI and supporting artists, man. AI shouldn't replace the need for having artists or video editors or creatives. But as a tool to generate ideas, it's fine. Wosolo says, yeah, I thought about building a little DAWless area once. Got my Prime 4 sold. I think it could be a refreshment from the whole sitting at the desk and doing Ableton. Oh, dude, definitely. Having something outside of the DAW that you can perform with, something that has haptics to it, is such a awesome feeling. Like, being able to perform music is also very educational and helps you to produce music better. That's also one of the reasons why I purchased outboard gear, because I wanted to have this performance aspect and touch aspect, which often gets lost when you only use the keyboard and mouse. Like, at the end, I always go back to Ableton, and nothing will ever bypass Ableton for me. Like, it's the place where everything comes together, but it's how the ideas start, right? I start to outsource that to hardware gear. And for those who want hardware gear, I would say Arturia Micro Freak, dude. The synthesizer is out of this world. You can get so much ear candy with this thing. It's unbelievable. It's kind of like a mini Eurorack modular synth. Also, very interesting design. And quite cheap if you compare it to other synths. Audio Muscle says, yeah, I'm eagerly looking forward to your video demonstrating how you transform your vocal into something like that. Blows me away. I will, my friend. I will. That's another unpopular secret that took me many years to figure out. No, plugins, keyboard, etc. can be solid and great arrangement skills. I would say what makes your tracks truly sound professional is great sound design and great arrangement. I'm actually gonna that's it. At this point, I would add some kind of a like melodic ear candy. Something that doesn't overfill the track, but gives a bit more melodic variety. We're in F minor, yeah? Or you know what? Instead of using Diva, let's use the Microfreak. Can we not use it? Since I've just spoken of it. I already saved it as an external instrument. Go through a couple of presets on this thing, maybe? Of a scale enabled on the device. It's also a really cool thing. You can scale lock the device. So I'm going to choose scale. I'm going to change to C. No, F. We're in F minor. somehow not in the right scale. I feel like it's off key. Yeah, I recorded all the MIDI, but it would have been smart to record the audio as well. So what I usually do is set this channel, the audio channel, to receive the audio directly from the Microfreak. Record on this track as well, and then hit record. Switch through presets. Definitely not in the right scale. I think I did something wrong. Yeah, that's definitely not in key, dude. Changed it. There we go. So sounds like that, you know, just resample your synthesizer, do some random freaking stuff, and at the end you get audio results, just material, content that you can scroll through. Like literally all this, sometimes even BS could fit into your track. You never know. Like even that is just amazing sounding, dude. What even is that? Yeah, that could turn into like some little effector. Like this. Put that into a new track. Chuck it into my effects. You see? Man. Yeah. Bit off key, but why not? For example, here we could call this bass. So either you could, in the break, there's different ways to transition into the break. Either you can slowly build down into the break, or you could suddenly take away all the elements, like the drums, for example. I mean, usually there's a cooldown before the break that indicates a break is about to happen. Very usual for progressive house music. But it's always different, you know. And in this case, you could take some kind of a reference track to see if how do they transition into the break. Do they take away all the drums, or do they maybe introduce some kind of a cooldown section, 8 to 16 bars before the break? Right now, we could just first of all take away kick and bass. See if that. You could just go full on, no more drums. And start to, you know, individually just blend in the drums here in the build. Call this one build number 2, where you add some new hi-hat, some more shakers. And jump back to kick and bass. And sometimes what you could also do is, in the build, you can slowly start to filter down the pads or something like that. See how there's no pad? It feels more like there's tension going on. And then you're like, whoa! There's more like a release now. So during the build-up, create some automation envelope, and then just slowly blend down pad, and then give that particular clip a different color so you know that's automated. Slowly start to blend in the pads. You know what? Actually gonna start to slowly blend it back in here. Go. And then, so I fade them out here in the build. Here. Slowly go down in the build phase here. And once we're at build number 2, the pads are already fully gone. Might as well also delete the clip here so we know that there's no pad playing. introduce the kick and bass. We let the pad fade in over the course of 8 to 16 bars. Yeah. Sometimes you could also, like when you introduce the chorus or the kick bass, you could also take away like all your drums. Sometimes just kick bass works, but yeah, definitely not if you're playing your drums before that. You want to make it, if you have a lot of top loops in the build up and you suddenly take away in the chorus, it sounds like, whoa, what the heck, energy's gone missing. Usually you want to have it the other way around. Like you have some kind of a hi-hat coming in the build and then you introduce all the drums in the chorus. On the other hand, if you have a break that's very atmospheric and eerie, no top loops, you have the opportunity to add just like the kick and bass in one melody layer. A good track to illustrate what exactly I mean is, I'll quickly demonstrate. Hermanes. This one here. You see how there's like, in the break, there's a lot of atmospheres, no top loops. The build is created using just synths. And pay attention to the drop now. Okay, a lot of synths. Just synths. You see? By the way, this track is freaking amazing. You know, he fades out the rest of the synths and lets the kick bass come back in, and the rest of the drums come in later. Yeah, so that's also a fantastic way of introducing the drop. But this, again, I feel like my style that I'm aiming for here is a lot different. Introducing just the kick and bass and the drop gives you more room to introduce elements more gradually later on during the drop. Just build the outro or something. Basically just reverse the order here. Make sure that not too many melodies disappear all of a sudden. Here we can just reduce drums. No conga. Duplicate. Less detail perk. can fade out. Pads fade out, put it here. Wait, what? That's odd. Why isn't it fully faded out? Okay, I don't know why it's not fully faded out. It should be fully faded out, but... Oh, I think I clicked the modulation. I didn't want to modulate it. My bad. There's, I had to automate it. Yeah, this is what I should have done. I wanted to create an automation, not a modulation. Okay. Because modulation keeps, I want to say the parameter at the original value? I don't know, what's the difference? Right now you should obviously hear it. Yeah, there we go. Maybe smoother. And just the drums in the outro. There we go. And when I'm finished, I hit tab, I click here, and I jump to the beginning, intro. So when I start recording, it starts as of here, and I hit record. So I can record the arrangement into arrangement view. Add the hat. Oh, add some energy. Loving that vibe. Greetings from Cape Town. What's up, Soul of Machine? Melodic Planet. Hey, nice vibe. What you have on your master channel and what is the best option to keep your master a little loud when you work on your track? Oxford Inflator is what I use. I think there's a couple of companies who've created emulations of this, so you don't have to pay as much. But I keep that always on my master. Add the clap. I don't have anything that severely colors my track on my master. Just this filter thing to take away the bass when I need to. Maxime Rotaro, what's up, man? Dakota said bye. Oh man, I missed you. I missed that comment, I mean. Bye-bye. It was nice to have you here, man. Our way through these things. This is how I like to arrange my music. You know, I feel like I have more control when I have this thing set up here. Some people, they just like to freely hit play here and construct their arrangement that way. You know, they just launch their clips. But I feel like with so many freaking layers, it's kind of hard to adapt that kind of a workflow. So I like to have everything pre-programmed here. Mal. Yeah, Spacey. Nice to still have you here, man. See, I can just blend in these fills whenever I want. So it's good to have like 2 or 3 fill channels with just ear candy type stuff there. The sudden break.
Stardust cascades through velvet skies.
Put another. Build. We add some percussion here.
Stardust cascades through velvet skies.
Maybe I shouldn't play the vocal so much, but it's okay. Build 2, more tops come in.
Stardust cascades through velvet skies. In the delicate embrace of dreams.
Kick it bass.
Stardust cascades through velvet skies.
Just letting it run through here. So when the pad fades out, does it fade out here? No, it doesn't. Okay. No conga. Two, three, four, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. Whenever this pad fades out. I know to play just the drums. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we got just the drums. This is kind of like the rough sketch for my arrangement. I play through 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then I hit convert to arrangement, and you have your arrangement here. So you can roughly see how it looks like. And now my track is total of, I could see it here, 5 minutes 59, which is kind of a good length, I would say. And it looks quite nice. Maybe I could take away some percussion before transitioning into the break, so I make it the transition softer here. No. So this would be the cool down section here. Perhaps filter out some of the percussion elements here. Auto filter, you know, here is where I get a bit more precise, you know. So on the group, I start automating the frequency. And perhaps also the hi-hat. I might as well put this auto filter thing on the drum bus. So I filter out the hi-hat and all the other drums. transition here. Yeah, it looks kind of good. So for a rough sketch, it looks kind of good. Melodies are very clustered here, so I might as well delete a couple ones so they are introduced more gradually instead of all at once all the time. But all in all, looks good. You know? What would I need to do? What else would I need to do to consider this track finished? Like, what is that I need? Oh, the vibe of this track tells me don't add more. But it's definitely telling me to rework the melody part of things, because the vocal keeps restarting, the vocal phrase. Also the feel the sky keeps cutting off. Right here. Have to correct that. But melodically I don't want to have anything more in the track because it will just take away the original vibe. Some ear candy, yeah, that's what I'm looking for, like ear candy textural fills and stuff like that. Ear candy shots. So some more sound design, nothing that will take away from the character of the track, but just add detail to every 8 to 16 bars. That's something that will take some time, but it's kind of fun. Boost some of the frequencies here. Really just adding some gain. Nothing special. Especially, this does well on the higher frequencies. I feel like brings out the hi-hats a bit. Exteriorize those shakers a bit more. I also like when the outro sounds a bit different than the intro.
In the delicate embrace of dreams,
Nice.
stardust cascades through velvet skies.
Compressed. Love that cooldown section here. But that doo-dum, I don't like it here. That can go.
In the delicate embrace of dreams, stardust cascades through velvet skies.
pad thing didn't work here. I'm gonna have to set the automation correctly this time. Auto filter frequency envelopes. That's weird. Why doesn't it show me the automation here? Okay. That's strange. I can also do it here. Fade in.
In the delicate embrace of dreams, velvet skies.
The pads cover so much of the low end.
In the delicate embrace, stardust cascades through velvet skies.
Yeah. You're definitely right, man. I have to add some more ear candy and transitions. More on that later on, though. I know. It's really loud. I have a ton of these sounds in Sinai, but I'm still preparing them for Roya, the transitions in the ear candy one-shots. Ear candy. Stuff like this, for example. Tonal fills, maybe. Yeah, no, that's too much. Just like tiny little details. Maybe Tulum. I know that Tulum has a ton of nice organic drum fills. It was kind of the focus of Tulum. Yeah. Tulum has some really good drum fills. Very happy with how they turned out. So right before the drop, put this here. Ooh, I like that. Happy accident here. What happened? I like the way it sounded here. Yeah, nice. Now this delay isn't sidechained. Yeah. Hear how the delay is ducking whenever the kick hits? That's a smart thing to do. Whoops. You could also pitch it up a bit. Oh, it's not warped though. Warp it. Every 8 bars has some kind of a new sound here. Shaker fills are always a vibe. These I actually created with my own shakers. But you see how much of a big role they play? Now these ear candies, there's a ton of ways to create them, and thank you for the sub, man. My favorite way is to just go through the percussion that I have at home, record it into my microphone, or perhaps also go through synthesizers. Like the Micro Freak, you can just scroll through presets, and while you're scrolling through presets, you record that stuff. And whatever comes out, and you use that as your ear candy or your transition. These are very
embrace of dreams. In the delicate embrace
Yeah,
of
sometimes these have
in the
tries to
delicate
show.
embrace of dreams. Stardust cascades through
This one
velvet
is too harsh
skies.
though, I feel like. Beautiful, okay. Yes, I like that. Add that here, push it up a bit maybe. Nice. Alright guys, that's pretty much it. I'd like to thank you all for joining in on today's live stream. It was an absolute pleasure to be able to make music and have people watch me. I hope you guys learned something new. If you did, feel free to like and subscribe. It really, really helps me out. Helps the channel grow and helps me to put out more content like this. If you enjoyed the sounds, this stream was dedicated to an upcoming pack, so it's not out yet. It's called Roya, Deep Textural Organic. However, if you do like the style of sounds that you're hearing, you could go to LotusTunes.com. This is my site for sample pack distribution. I have a couple bundles here. But as a bonus tip, I would say, like if you're thinking of purchasing a bit more, maybe wait for when the Roya sound pack releases, because then I usually launch with a sale. And yeah. So Roya is gonna launch with a sale. I have a couple courses on here, Afro and more of a Middle Eastern style. A lot of free products as well if you're looking for some free sound packs. So yeah, check it out. Check it out. Yeah, that's it for today's live stream, guys. Thank you so much. Gonna let the track just quickly play through here and read through final comments before I end the stream today. But it was definitely an awesome vibe. I enjoyed coming back with a live stream. I haven't posted in like a month. People were already messaging me like, where are you? I really needed some time off, man, and it felt so good. Definitely made a lot less revenue in the time I took a break. It's kind of normal. But you take a break so you come back more energized, yeah? My mom came in, she was like, hey, don't forget you're really busy. Yeah, and I was really busy, yeah. Usulu says, nice. Good night, guys. Thanks for the stream. It was nice to catch it again. Thank you for joining, my friend. Great vibe. It was nice to connect after a long time. Cheers. Cheers to you as well, Nirmal. Thank you for staying tuned until the end, man. That's so nice of you. Artless Being, still here as well. Thank you so much. Lovely session as always. Thank you. Thank you. Garis, that was huge. Thank you. Thank you too. Rajif dos Santos. Obrigado, Kevin. I think that means thank you. Thanks, my friend. Thank you, my friends. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the next video. I'll see you soon. Cheers.